How's it going, everyone? Before we get into the tutorial, I do want to say thank you to Daya Sharma and a lot of the people that supported my channel from Manipur. So I recently filmed a tutorial and interview with ALEX PANDREA, and he did mention that if I reach 6,500 subscribers, he would allow me to post the tutorial. I don't know if you can watch that video. Click right up here and you'll see what he's talking about. At that time, Daya had already posted his video out with my interview, and I straight away got about 1,000 subscribers come in from Daya's channel. So straight away from 6,000 I moved on to about 7,000. So because we promised it, I will still post the video's tutorial. So here it is. Grab a deck of cards and enjoy this wonderful little tutorial with ALEX PANDREA.
Alright, so this control is one of my favorite controls. I learned it when I was 13, 14 years old. I was obsessed with it. It's from the book The Card Magic of Paul LaPaul, and here it is right now. So you have a card selected. Let's say it is the 6 of diamonds. That's a pretty good card. We'll leave it in the center, and we'll just leave it in the center of the center to make it even more impossible to follow. Where is it? Of course it's on top, because it's a control, and that's what we do with the controls. This one is very easy, but it's so deceptive. That's why I like it, because I was able to do it when I was, again, 13 years old. I wanted to try to control a card, but I couldn't do a pass. I couldn't do any of these kind of fancy ones. Funny enough, even though it's called a fancy control, it looks fancy, but it's not fancy technically. So let's see how it is. You start off with the deck in dealer's position, just like this. And you're going to riffle with the thumb, almost like you're doing like a, say stop, you know, that great force that everybody does. Please say stop, stop, and you riffle force. So you're riffling down about halfway and you're doing this. When the card gets placed back, so you have a card selected, I forgot to mention that, but you guys know that already, of course, because how could you have a card controlled if it's not selected? Think about it. All right, anyway, here we go. Jack of diamonds gets placed back. So again, you're going to riffle, come around like that. So you're doing a 180 turn into your right hand. All right, the card is replaced back, and once the card is replaced back, you place it in the left hand, just like that. Now you're going to repeat this process, riffling again half of the deck in the left hand, and you're going to 180 degrees rotate it into the right hand packet. Now remember, that card is on top still, and now you're going to take the right hand packet, all of the cards, and rotate it 180 degrees counterclockwise, if you think about it that way, back on top of the deck, placing the selected card on top. Now if I leave it face up, you can see exactly what happens. This gets placed here. Go ahead, place it back. There it is. Riffle half the deck into the right hand, this half back, rolling it over, and now you've done it. Now what I've done is I've added an extra little rotation at the end to really make it sort of more, not confusing, confusing would be the wrong word to use, but just so that the spectator can't follow. You could do this as slow as possible, right? But just another little twirl so the spectator can't follow it exactly 100%. So even when you do this slowly, go ahead, place the card back, and you don't want to do it too fast, right? You don't want to be one of those, in my opinion, magicians that they do everything really fast and then the spectator doesn't even know anymore what happened, right? So I just 1, 2, and 3. All right, and last time, boom, place the card back. Lost in the center of the center, don't know where it is, but of course you do, my friends. Of course you know where it is, but they don't know, but they will, and you will, and I hope you do.
How cool was that tutorial? It's so simple. I myself am going to try and do this. So I'm going to grab a deck of cards and hopefully I should get this done in a week. It's so simple, yet so effective. Okay, let's move on to the next tutorial. I think this is a little more harder to learn, but it's still a great challenge and I like videos like this. So while I'm watching a movie or something, I keep practicing. So the tip is, the first thing is you watch the move, you learn that very carefully, and you do it a few times, and then later, once you get the handling of it, then it's all about practice. That means it's all about repetition, doing it again and again. So while I'm watching a movie, whether I'm in the cinema or in my house watching an interview or listening to a podcast, my hands keep moving and getting that action. So you call it muscle memory. So it's all about getting that technique comfortable, and you keep moving your fingers in the right place for the move. So I hope you enjoy this next tutorial. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118, 119, 120
All right, this is move number 2. Aren't you guys lucky? 2 moves in one video. We're doing a false cut now. And again, this is something that goes back to when I started learning. This is based off of a cut called a hot shot cut. Now I love the hot shot cut by Daryl, but I couldn't do it because my hands were too small and I couldn't grip the cards like this. So I came up with a little bit of a different version that I hope you're going to like. I guess you could call it like cheating for the hot shot cut, but it leads to something interesting. So here it is. It looks like this and like that. So this is a false cut using the same sort of action as the hot shot cut, but what you can do is take that and split it into multiple packet cuts that look like this, and now it's a false cut. So boom, boom, and boom. I think it looks pretty nice. Should we learn it? Okay.
Yes.
Now the idea of false cuts is one of a few reasons why you would do it. One is obviously to have a card seemingly lost and then you do a few cuts, right? And then the spectator goes, oh, the card is even more lost because you shuffled or you cut or whatever. So you could control it to the top, do a few retentions of the top card, or you could do false cuts or false shuffles. So this is the way that I would use this. You have the card on top, or rather, doesn't matter, but since we learned already the first control, make pretend that the card is on top and we want to keep it on top. So it's going to look like we're just fidgeting with the card, but we're doing a false cut. So if you want to come behind the shoulder and see how this looks, we're going to start off with the deck here. We're going to grab it in an overhand grip like this. Now we're going to do a swing cut or kick cut, so you know how to do that. Your first finger grabs it and kicks it to the left side where your left hand is there to grab it, right? So that's pretty basic move. So we're going to do that with about half the deck into the left hand. And now this hand, the right hand holding the rest of the cards, this is the bottom portion of the deck, is going to rotate clockwise. So you're rotating it so that now the thumb and the first finger of the left hand grab it right there. So you're grabbing it right there. Now from here you want to adjust your pinky. Your pinky is going to swivel around, so now it is putting a sort of stop of the card so they don't fall. And now the thumb and the first finger are going to keep stretching out the hand. You're stretching out the hand. The pinky is stretching the hand down, and you're going to get into this position. Okay? Pause it if you need to, so you could get an exact positioning of how the fingers should be. And now it comes to the bottom. So essentially what we've done is we've taken the top packet, putting it into the left hand, moving this around and back onto the bottom like this, which makes a nice false cut if you ask me. Now I know what you're thinking. Hey Alex, I want to take it further than just 2 packets. Stay in your seats, I got you, don't worry. All right, so hold the deck once again in a dealer's position like this. You are going to, now what this is going to do is control the top stock, so the top quarter of the deck, third of the deck, whatever you want. Again, the card is on top, your selected card, and you want to do a few cuts to make it seem like it's lost even further. You can do this. Once again, you're cutting into the left hand, and now you're taking that bottom packet, you're rotating it again just like this, but instead of taking this and placing it to the bottom, you're going to cut this packet in 2. And you're going to take that bottom packet to the bottom as you rotate the right hand around like this. Keep that thumb there, and now you're holding it here. And now you can take this packet, rotate it in the same position as before, and rotate it here. So it's 1, rotate, grab half, only half goes around. You could do it again. You could do it again as many times as you want, but initially all these cards will stay on top. So if you have a card selected and controlled to the top using your favorite control, you can come around, do this, and still keep it on top. And just keep in mind that this, at the end of the day, afterwards, when you're getting to here, you could also use it to do the hot shot cut, if you know that.
So there we go. How wonderful is Alex? Thank you, Alex, for being on my channel and teaching my fans, followers, these wonderful little tutorials. If you do want to go and check out a lot of Alex's stuff, I'm going to leave his YouTube in the links to this video, so go and check him out. Make sure you follow him. He's got a lot more tutorials on his channel. My channel is more about flourishing tutorials, so it's a little different and it's more advice to magicians. And I think this is a channel where if you're already a magician and you already know the basics, this is where you come in to learn and get more advice on how to improve your act and how to get better at branding. So make sure you go and check out a lot of my older interviews. I actually spent time with other magicians at the Magic Circle and I've asked them advice to give you so you can make your magic better and improve your brand. And just even if you're just a hobbyist, there's always something for someone. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you have a great day wherever you are, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye everyone.